Hello.
Hello. I'm gonna make a Leafy Sea Dragon Snail. And by that I mean I already made one, but we're gonna watch me make it.
We are going to witness from the past. Well, wait. We're going to witness from the future something happening in the past.
Yes. Yes, that is. Yes.
Do you think that the clay is the clay a similar consistency to like a block of cheese?
Ooh. Yeah, kinda. Well, before I start warming it up and squishing it all around, yeah, when it's a block, it's very similar to I'd say like a sharp cheddar block.
Have you considered trying to make a snail using cheese?
Absolutely not. But
Oh, because
it
the
would
cheese would
not.
melt. It wouldn't cook like the. I got you.
There's so many things that would be wrong with that.
But that's the main one.
Yeah, that's the reason why.
That's the main one, because if you could do everything you could do with the clay with cheese, I mean, there's no reason that you wouldn't.
I mean, I certainly could sculpt a snail out of cheese, but I would have to use a very different process than what I do for this. There'd be no breaking pieces off and squishing it around. It would be.
You'd have to do it in a solid block like marble.
Yeah, I'd have to carve it out of the block.
It's interesting that this clay can start with the consistency of cheese, but in the end, it has to be sculpted in a way more like stone.
By stone, do you mean like ceramics? Like
no,
clay?
like stone, like how you sculpt a marble sculpture.
Yeah, once it's baked, I mean.
Well, no. I mean the cheese would.
Oh, the cheese.
Because the cheese right now shares the same consistency with the clay, but you couldn't sculpt it the same way you do this clay. But if you sculpted it in cheese, you'd actually have to sculpt it more like you would sculpt stone.
Yes.
So that's interesting.
This is an interesting direction that our conversation has taken right off the get-go.
Yeah. Well, this part's self-explanatory. You're sculpting. You're forming it.
Yeah.
It also lets you know which of the ways that this process is different than, like, if you were to sculpt a snail in stone or cheese.
Yeah, true. Maybe someday I'll try a different medium.
Yeah, try cheese one.
And then you can eat it for real, like you've always wanted.
So if you are eagle-eyed in the comments, you might have seen my comments where I oftentimes talk about eating the snails.
Oh, that was in the YouTube comments, wasn't it?
Well, it's both. And if you're here, there's you can see more of this on TikTok.
Yes.
If you haven't seen it already.
I'm about to bake the snail, so I had to make sure that I could keep it in the pose that I wanted while also having it, be able to bake without getting smushed. So I stuck it upside down.
Oven time.
The shell that I use for this snail is also really cool.
Yeah, it's a very strange shape. I feel like that makes it a lot harder to work with just because it has those like long pieces hanging off of it.
Yeah, I definitely had to be careful with the posing and make sure nothing was going to intersect in weird ways, which is kind of like a duh thing, but it's definitely easy to overlook. I have to keep that in mind pretty much throughout the whole thing.
Well, and also, are they like delicate?
Most shells that I've come across are pretty surprisingly strong. I mean, probably dependent upon how well fed the little critter was in its lifetime when it grew the shell.
Oh, sure.
Some shells are definitely
unhealthy shells.
Yeah, some shells are definitely weaker than others, probably due to nutrition, I would imagine, but most of them are pretty strong.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is like bone, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, well...
It's calcium.
I say yeah, but I don't know.
It's made of calcium,
exactly.
I think.
It's adjacent.
I guess I don't
I don't
really
know.
know.
Let's, I'm not a...
it looks like bone.
I'm not a shell
glossier. Like, maybe... Yeah, but it's all calcium, right?
I think so.
Leave a comment. Or do you think bones are made of calcium?
Well, bones, yes.
Do you think shells and bones are both made of calcium? Actually, if you think that bones and shells are even similar, why don't you go ahead and leave a comment? Or if you think that they're not similar, why don't you let us know?
You know.
We accept all opinions here about this exact topic.
They both definitely utilize calcium in their structure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they drink milk.
Yeah, snails notoriously love cow's milk.
Love milk.
Specifically.
Where do they get calcium from if not milk?
Other bones, I would imagine.
Well, are snails eating bones?
No, but things die in the ocean all the time.
But
And they have to
you're talking
decompose
about
and
this
deteriorate.
particular type of sea snail. Is that a sea snail?
Yeah,
shell?
yeah, that's definitely
okay.
a sea
So
shell
you
of some
think that
kind.
there's just calcium like in the dirt?
Well,
if we're talking about
plants? If we're talking about land snails,
well,
oh my gosh, I'm so underqualified to have this conversation.
What do sea snails eat?
Some, I don't know.
Bodies?
I don't know.
Sound off in the comments if you know what they eat, or if you have a good guess, or
you know, we'll look into it. We'll look into it for next time.
if you're a
so
snail
we'll know what we're
scientist,
talking about.
You can actually message me personally, and I would love to have an intense conversation with you about all of this.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be leaving my message thing, but if you can find me, I'm open to messages.
Yeah.
The long eyes, like when they're like the stalks are that long, I'm always like, even when I know the wire's in them, I'm always like, oh, that's gonna break off.
Lately I've started making the wires longer than necessary and then like trimming them to length afterwards.
Oh, in case you want to make like a creative.
It gives me a little more wiggle room with like figuring out what I want to do.
I thought you were gonna make that like those eyes were gonna be omega long.
I did keep them quite long on this one, but I'm pretty sure I trimmed them a bit from this because the eyes I used for this Leafy Sea Dragon Snail were actually a little bit bigger than the ones I typically use. Like the eyeball, the glass marble.
Part, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a little bit bigger than the usual size on this one.
Oh, the mustache.
Oh,
and you only get one chance with it, so if it breaks off, it just messes the snail up forever, basically.
It's not fair. You know the future. You know what's gonna happen.
I'm from the future.
You know I'm gonna break that mustache off later in this video.
If you keep a close eye, you'll see that that mustache does make it to the end.
But you know what? It makes it to the end with a mustache.
Yeah,
so.
Well, it makes it to the end with a mustache.
Not this exact one,
Not
though.
this one.
But, you know, it's pretty darn close.
Well, and look at all the care you put into it.
If someone hadn't said anything, they might not even notice.
No, because I left in the part of the video where it breaks off.
Yeah, but they still might not even notice.
Oh, I think they would.
You know, they look away for a minute or...
It's a fun little Easter egg,
doing
but it's not even an Easter egg anymore. I've just pointed it out.
Yeah.
Oh, I could have left it secret. Well, too late.
Yeah, you did do that. You did.
Is it right
you
here?
do
But I can't remember.
No, it's not baked yet. It's after it gets baked.
I can't remember where it happens.
Oh,
yeah, these are big eyes.
Yeah, see, those are, I don't know, probably twice as big.
They look really cool on this one, too. I like the colors that you picked.
Yeah, I did bigger eyes because I was hoping it would make it so that the coloration of them was more visible. Because I knew I wanted to do a smiling face with the little happy eyes.
Yeah, the happy eye ones are the best ones.
I like the happy eyes, but sometimes it's just not thematically fitting.
Yeah,
you know?
like you can't really fit it into the thing.
Well, or it just doesn't make sense for, I don't know, for some things. Not every snail has to be happy.
Well, yeah, some are evil.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess maybe. I don't know.
I won't list the ones that I think are evil.
Oh, yeah?
It's controversial.
You got some controversial takes about the snails over there?
I have an early snail that was broken, that was evil. Had haunting eyes.
Huh.
I get to keep the rejects that you guys never see.
Yeah, that's true. There have been some.
And I have a little army building up. And I would say,
well,
1/3 of them are evil. Yeah, army is strong. There's maybe 8.
You get 8. You get maybe like a team. You get a little team going.
I have a small team of evil snails that were rejected because they had soulless eyes.
That's...
She looked into their eyes and went, this one?
That's not true.
I didn't put enough love in this one.
That's not true.
It looks neglected.
Oh.
And evil. Well, they're not born evil, Brittany.
Okay, well.
So this is an interesting part. I like the little mushroom here. Is this gonna be like some sort of caterpillar, like a smoking caterpillar, or
no? See, I was worried it was gonna fall over in the oven because I mean, a leafy sea dragon has lots of little, like, you know, thin, tendrily fins and whatnot.
When I saw this originally, it threw me off because I didn't know right off the bat which one this was.
Oh.
Because I knew you'd been like shooting the video, but like I didn't work on it until afterwards. So when I saw it, I was like, "Is this the Alice in Wonderland one?"
Man, that was so long ago.
Yeah,
that was a cool one.
My perception of time. Yeah, it was really cool.
I wish I had made a video of that one.
But that's where that came from originally, right? The little mushroom with the squiggle lines?
No,
I thought that was involved with that somehow.
No, it's just a random wooden mushroom I have. I think
just a cool little thing, you know?
I think one of the kids drew spirals all over it at some point. It was in with the sewing kit for a long time.
I thought that it was like a prop of some kind. Okay, well.
It just happened to be the right shape and height for me to use to prep up this snail.
Well, it worked.
Yeah, obviously. It came in really handy. And it did stand up, and so then I could go and add, you know, the rest of the tendrils.
With the little... There's like a little bit of clay that you cooked just to hold it there then?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I have to sacrifice a little bit of clay for the greater good, just to hold everything together in the meantime. But, you know, it's worth it.
Yeah, this is a delicate one too. Like it's got, like you said, so many little dangly things off of it.
Once I got all of the wire like structures made and like solidified in place by baking it, it was not too bad, but getting it to stand up was a little bit tricky. Mostly just making a bunch of little fins and getting them to stick on the wires. And
I think it has too many fins.
There's definitely a lot. I mean, you've seen Leafy Sea Dragons.
You think?
You know what they look like. They got lots of little fins on them.
You think whoever created that animal would have made it with less fins?
They're very leafy.
Like, when you're concocting this thing, whoever invented Leafy Sea Dragons, they should have... I mean, why not just go with regular like Sea Dragon? They don't have all that junk on them.
There are weedy sea dragons, which have far less.
They're so high.
Far less fins on them.
You can tell because their eyes are red and they never open up all the way.
Mm-hmm.
They're always floating around real slow.
Well, they're all pretty slow.
Yeah, they are. The way they move around is really strange.
The leafy ones, you know, it's a lot of fins, but it looks really cool.
Yeah, I'm sure it has some sort of like camouflage purpose too, is because they're like floating around seaweed and stuff.
I would imagine so, but you know.
What do they eat?
I don't. Stop asking me questions about things that I don't know.
Sound off in the comments if you know what Leafy Sea Dragons.
I'm not a marine biologist.
I think it's probably, I want to say bugs.
Probably little tiny water critters.
Yeah, it's got to be bugs or plankton or something. Maybe not plankton. Maybe that's too small.
I have no idea.
You know, maybe we'll find out.
No idea.
One of these smarty pants in the comments.
You're really relying heavily on the people who might watch this video.
I think if you're watching this video, you're an incredibly smart person. You're probably good looking. You got good taste. And if you leave a comment, all of those things but double.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you're commenting on the video, if you're watching the video, you're already a smart person. If you're commenting and you're actually like letting me know these things, then you're twice as smart as even the smart people watching it.
Wow. So. Okay. Those
and twice as, handsome or beautiful, whatever you want to go with there.
Of course. Cover all the bases.
Yeah. I think that hits every demographic. Those are the because you can pick and choose there. You can be a handsome woman.
Sure, you can be a beautiful man.
You can be a beautiful man. Yeah.
You can be, whatever.
You can be a beautiful They, them?
Just be you.
Some sort of Z? Apologize to any I missed?
All inclusive.
All inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone can be beautiful or handsome. You just gotta pick one.
Yep. Whatever your heart desires.
Yeah, you can't have both.
Well, you can have both.
No, because I think that there's a certain like vibe to each one. One's more elegant.
Huh.
Yeah. I think beautiful has more of an elegance.
That's an interesting way to think about it.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
I've never
different
seen
strokes for different
someone in
folks.
like a fancy, like crazy dress and gone like, wow, they're so handsome.
Well, you haven't seen the right person in a dress. Have you
But
seen Harry Styles in a dress?
yeah, and I went, wow, he's so beautiful.
Well, you know, that's fair.
Yeah. Again, that's what I mean. Is you can pop a handsome Harry Styles
You can
in a
be
vest.
both. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
you
yeah,
can be
you can be both, but it goes off of vibe.
both.
Like, look at this guy.
The Sea Dragon?
Yeah, handsome or beautiful?
He's both.
No, baby.
Look at him. He's so beautiful. Did you know that
Does have
Leafy
an
Sea
elegance.
Dragons kind of like seahorses, the male carries the eggs, but they carry them on the bottom of their tails.
Lazy bones. They're like, sure, we'll take care of it. But we're not putting it inside of us.
Yeah, they don't. Well, I don't know for sure. I don't think they have a sac. I
See,
didn't look far into it past the egg stage.
That's why male sea dragons are the
know.
goats of the animal world, because they take away, the hard part of having the baby by like putting it in them. They're like, I'll put it in my belly, whatever. Leafy Sea Dragon's like, sure, I'll take care of it, but I'm doing all that.
Well, I mean, maybe they do. I don't know.
I'm gonna keep I'll keep this baby safe by the same place that I fart from.
Well, you don't know that for sure. Who knows where they?
Do they fart?
I don't.
Sound off in the comments.
God.
Leafy Sea Dragons.
The world is
you're
this
a marine
conversation.
biologist and you think that you can tell me whether or not they fart. That's interesting.
We're supposed to be talking about the art and the sculpting process.
We are.
Not the creature that it's based on, because I'm not an expert on that.
No, we can do both.
But did you know that snails poop out of a little like hole in their shell? It's not like in the shell, but it's on like the underside where the shell connects to the body.
Okay, well that's good. You don't want to poop in the shell, for sure.
And
I think it'd be funnier, and whoever created snails, I think maybe they should think about this. It'd be funnier if there was like a hole in the shell out the back that the poop came out.
Out the back?
Yeah.
That wouldn't make sense with how shells form.
Look, I didn't invent them.
You got a lot of bizarre ideas. Okay?
I didn't invent them. I just think that would be way funnier.
Well, doing things because they're funnier is not often the best best reason to be doing things.
Well, that's why no one put me in charge of this sort of thing.
Thank goodness. Yeah, you are in charge of the editing of these videos.
And they are meant to be funny. This is a comedy-based crafting video style thing. That's why I can only do so much to make it fun, like this part.
Oh my god.
I left that in.
Okay, that's not funny. It's not funny when you keep in the stuff that I mess up. That's not funny.
I thought that you guys would like that. And sound off in the comments if you think it was funny that I left that in on purpose.
Oh my god.
But yeah, there's only so much I can do to make it funny when I'm just editing. So I have to zhuzh it up. I do love the colors on this though.
Yeah, the colors are really bright.
Cool.
I found a photo online of a Leafy Sea Dragon that had some really pretty colors, and so I used that as like
the base,
and then just kind of exaggerated it.
Sure.
Just kicked it up a few notches.
Yeah, well,
full Lisa Frank.
Like if you're going to add a snail to something, it kicks up their cool factors by a few notches.
Yeah.
Snails are oftentimes very colorful creatures.
Oftentimes?
Yeah, almost always. They're extremely colorful and have big eyes. Big, playful, happy eyes.
Huh.
All the snails I've seen. I've never seen a snail in person that wasn't sculpted, but...
Oh, I see. You're just saying all of my snails. Yeah, they're... No.
I'm assuming these are all realistic made.
No. Nope, very muchly
Oh,
not.
there are colorful snails. Weren't you just showing? Oh, those were sea
Those were
slugs.
sea
Sea
slugs.
slugs.
There's some very
Oh,
colorful sea slugs.
we're leaking.
Not that there's not
Have you
colorful
even dropped the sea
snails.
slugs yet?
No, I haven't. Well, I sculpted some a while back, but I'm working on paintings right now of some sea slugs. Those are going to take a while.
They are going to be really cool. This video will come out before those are done, obviously.
Yeah, paintings are very slow going.
But those will be really cool.
Yeah.
I saw the sea slugs that they are based off of, but there's one that's like green that I can see right now.
Yeah, that's the sea sheep.
That looks like
they're going good. They're going along great.
In its like early stages, I thought that was like a hop, like for beer, because it was just green and the way that it was shaped. I thought I was
Gotcha.
just like, what the heck? Why is she trying a hop?
Nope, it's just a little sea critter.
Little sea critter.
Little chubby cheek sea critter.
Yeah, they're all pretty weird looking though. Not in the bad way, but just in like a totally alien way.
Cool way. Weird in a cool way.
Yeah.
Like a sea dragon. Or a leafy sea dragon.
Well, I don't think those are weird.
No?
I think they're normal.
Well, yeah, they're normal, but you know, they stand out amongst the other critters, I feel like.
Yeah, that's true. What critters do you think aren't cool? Like,
wow.
Like, I don't like mosquitoes.
Yeah, mosquitoes are pretty obnoxious.
Would you ever do a mosquito snail?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
No.
Make a little tiny one.
You're supposed to say no.
Little teeny tiny snail.
Mosquitoes are awful. No one would buy that.
Someone would buy it. I'd pour it into like a block of resin to make it look like the Jurassic Park mosquito.
If you would buy a disgusting
but
mosquito.
It would be
okay,
the
well,
snail mosquito in the amber.
Okay, that's
fake
different.
Amber.
That is different because that, at that point, is a Jurassic Park snail. That's no longer...
I mean, I suppose. If you want to like put it in the top of a staff or something, sure, then it's a Jurassic Park snail.
Oh, the eye reveal.
Yeah, I've been just painting over the eyes because it's a little bit easier, but I don't know. Sometimes it comes off easily and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, maybe it's just based on which paint you use.
Yeah, thicker paint actually comes off a lot easier than thinner paint.
Maybe it's like a stickiness in the thinner paint.
I don't know.
Like it it bonds better or something.
Yeah, maybe. Either way, I don't know. I like scraping it off. It's just kind of fun to do, but I don't know that it's the best way to do it.
It's very satisfying. Oh.
There's definitely masking fluids and stuff that some people use.
Stabler.
Our dog is freaking out in the background.
Stabler, chill, bro.
He's having a goober moment.
Oh, there you can see the color now.
Yeah, especially when the light's really shining on him, you can see it pretty good.
Well, and because it's like painted on the back, you can it changes based on the angle you're looking at it too. So yeah, there you go. You're like moving it right now.
Yeah, that's why I did for these I did patches of like this kind of reflective green and also like a copper color.
I thought it was gold.
It's it's kind of goldish. It's a little more on
the bottle says copper.
Orangey side. Yeah, the bottle definitely says copper. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm just a chungus and I don't know what colors are.
No, it's fine. That clip was like
I'm not a trained artist,
10 minutes ago or something, and we were talking about who knows what.
I'm looking at the eyes right now. It's not 10 minutes ago.
Here, look. See? Now you can see that one.
Yeah, but I can see it in that one as well.
It's just because of how reflective it is and how bright the light is.
That's just because I'm a chungus who doesn't know what colors are.
No. Well, I mean, you do get your colors wrong sometimes.
That's crazy.
You do though sometimes.
Sound off in the comments. Do you think that looks more gold than copper? Am I a chungus for thinking that? Well,
you have to consider the lighting. This is like the dress all over again. You have to consider the lighting. Okay, the lighting affects the way that it looks.
Can someone please defend me here?
You could see it earlier. I'm telling you, it was definitely copper. I'll show you the bottle.
No, I know what the bottle says. I believe that you think that that's what color it is.
It's akin to the color of like a jean, like a jean vest
now
button.
I'm seeing a little bit of the copper.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Someone defend me in the comments, please.
Hey, did you notice when I broke the mustache off?
No.
No. Nice.
I didn't. I forgot entirely. But that's why I mentioned it early on, because I knew that I would.
Oh, this gold stuff is so cool.
Yeah, this is the coolest part of the video. If you've
so
made it this
shiny.
far, you have succeeded.
And actually, it came from a marker, but it works so much better if I crack the marker open and take the juice out and just paint it on with a brush.
Yeah. If you look in real close at this video, you can see it like swirling and moving in the gold. Hold your phone very close to your face and just look at the swirling gold. Here's the problem, guys. I could zoom in, but you got to see the whole picture.
Just
So
zoom in.
Just hold it close
zoom
to your
in.
face.
Well, no, that's probably bad for your eyes. Don't do that.
Well, there's no zoom feature on YouTube. Is there?
Well,
hey, sound off in the comments. Is there a zoom feature on YouTube?
You can see it just fine. You can see it just fine. It's fine.
If you're able to do that, please let me know. But look at it. Look at it swirling.
It is cool. All the little, like, individual particles of the metallic powder or whatever that's suspended in the liquid.
Like 1,000 tiny universes.
They just kind of shimmer and move around until they, like, get stuck in place. I don't know what the liquid part of this fluid is, but whatever it is, it's sticky. So, like,
it's just like a sticky liquid that has gold particles in it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just in order to keep the gold particles, locked in. But if you touch it before it's dry, it's very sticky.
I want to go back to what we were talking about earlier, where the shells and bone debate.
Oh, okay.
Because when I'm looking at this shell right now, it looks like a tooth. I feel like it looks like a tooth.
I mean, teeth have some...
Teeth the same as bones?
Are
teeth and bones both the same?
I think they're similar, but they're not the same.
But they are both made of calcium.
Calcium's
Calcium's good for your teeth.
I'm not a marine biologist, and I'm not a dentist, so I really don't know.
Well, what do you know about bones?
Not a whole lot.
Okay. Well, you gave me all your other qualifications, but I didn't know.
Well, I'm not a doctor either.
Okay.
So,
Well, okay.
But
sound off in the comments. Are teeth and bones the same? Got any doctors?
How many doctors and dentists are watching my videos out there?
Doctors and dentists watching this? Let us know.
I bet it's a small number.
You guys
might even be a non-existent number.
You guys let us know. Are teeth and bones the same? And then if you know that answer, go ahead and let us know if shells are the same as teeth and bones.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know that answer, I mean, scroll through and just kind of answer the rest of the questions. I think I had one about what they ate as well.
You can't force work on somebody. Come on now.
I'm just saying, if you've already answered that many questions, you're clearly smart and know a lot of stuff, and you should just go ahead and make sure you watch the whole thing and answer the rest of my questions, and I appreciate it.
What's 20 more questions? That's fine.
It's not 20, it's like 5.
Well, we still got more video left.
Yeah, but I won't ask too many more. 10 max. Sound off in the comments. Do you think that's too many? This is when it starts looking really cool, though.
Oh, this is when it starts looking really cool?
I mean,
it hasn't looked really cool.
It looks cool already, but once you get the juice on there...
It's only just now, with the UV resin, now it looks cool.
Once you get the juice on there, Brittany, and also look at the video in the background.
Oh, did I not take any video of me applying the sealant? I must not have, because I definitely already did at this point.
If you did
it would be there.
It was
because you hardly edited anything out.
That's not even true. This was a 4-hour video. So you hardly edit anything out when the video is 1/10 of the freaking size it was.
No, you did great. You did great. Definitely improved.
But no, I don't remember seeing any of the sealing part of it.
Yeah, I probably didn't. It's not an exciting thing
Honestly,
to watch.
I would cut it though.
Yeah,
just because it's boring to watch.
It's just painting clear.
Yeah.
Over top of everything.
And it's like at the end of the painting step. So you've just watched you paint all these awesome, cool colors, and then it's like, and now watch me paint milk on here.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm gonna take a couple dips from my glass of milk, and I'm gonna paint this right on.
Pretty much, yeah. Just once the paint's dry. It needs the layer of polyacrylic just to help make sure the paint doesn't get chipped off.
I wasn't even talking about the UV resin either. I was talking about a later part, and I almost spoiled, and I wasn't going to keep talking
Oh,
about it.
what you thought was happening? You didn't realize it was the UV
No.
resin?
I knew it was
stuff?
the UV resin, but I was saying that this is where it starts to get really cool, because there's a part after this that it really makes everything pop.
Oh, so later you're going to say, now this is the part where it gets really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, because I thought it was closer to the part we were just
Yeah.
watching.
No,
It's not, though.
yeah, it takes a while. I think I did like a base of
And
UV resin. Yeah, and
To be
then
clear,
added little
I
bubbles.
already earlier in the video said that the part we painted the gold shell was the coolest part. So I clearly don't know what I think is the coolest part.
You just keep forgetting what's coming up next.
I do forget what's coming next,
But
but
that's okay.
it gets cooler and cooler.
It-
Oh, this is a very fun part. Just everyone watch this part.
Oh no, this is the part where I messed up and you left it in.
Yeah, everyone watch this part.
No,
It's
no one's
really
gonna
fun.
notice it either because no one's gonna be watching carefully enough.
No,
It's
they're
fine.
gonna watch.
No, no one's
Because
even gonna
now they're
notice.
gonna look really
I'm just putting the
closely.
little glass beads and things on
She
to
just
look like
put all the
bubbles.
glass beads on to look like bubbles.
So I put the UV resin down and then
Yeah.
put all the little glass beads to
there's
look like
another one.
bubbles, and then put some more UV resin
There's-
and then cure it so that they stay in
there's one.
place. And then I don't have to sit
Those
and make
big
a
ones-
million little
those big
bubbles.
ones
I
look
just
really easy to put in there too. Like
use
they're not too fiddly.
little glass ones. They look more like bubbles, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, various sizes. Big ones, little ones, medium ones, and just
a lot of
kind
those didn't go
of
in.
spread them around. Well, they're little and they're fiddly and they bounce. But look, I'm putting them back in place. It's
Yeah, you
fine.
put one back in there, and then
No, it's fine. So yeah, adding
there's
all.
one. Oh, two. Wait a minute. Okay, never mind.
They're really hard to grab with the tweezers. They're very slippery. Okay.
Oh, and you thought you had it that first
They're
time.
very slippery.
You thought you had it. 'Cause
In
you-
my defense, I'm trying to place these. I'm also trying to make sure that the camera stays focused and make sure that I'm recording.
You did a great
and
job.
I'm
You got
also
them all
trying
in
to
there.
Not make a big mess.
I didn't even. You
and-
got that one in there so fast. I didn't even see it.
I can't believe you leave stuff like that in. You're such a turd.
Look, there's only so much room for humor in this.
So now the bottom UV resin is totally cured, and I can start working on the belly and all the drippies.
Oh, because you have to have that base first, basically.
Yeah, just as kind of the boundary of the whole thing.
Actually, Brittany, you're going to put the feet on now.
Sure, that's part. Well, that's part of it.
Oh, I forgot that. I didn't realize that
What?
when you put the feet on,
Mhm.
that you did resin after. I know that I'm spoiling it, but
Yeah.
you do resin after this, and I didn't realize that earlier.
If it's something with a fairly large footprint, I'll use the little rubber feet. Well, I think they're actually silicone or whatever, but I put the little feet on just to help with. I don't know. I worry
Keeping it
about
stable.
over time and things being stable and everything. So put the little feeties on, and then I put UV resin on around it, even though they adhere, but just to really make sure that they're held in place, and also just to make the bottom look nice.
Yeah, I did think it looked better once you UV resined around them. I just didn't realize that was the case.
Yeah.
I don't usually when I'm watching you make them. I'm not usually catching the little details.
Yeah, that's okay. You don't have to catch all the little details.
Yeah, all I do is eat them.
No.
Wait till they're baked. I get them
Oh my gosh.
and I consume them.
Only if they're made of cheese.
All of them.
Well, none
I
of
eat
them.
one of each one.
None of them have been made of cheese yet. Hey, I'm down.
If someone hears, here's a fun secret giveaway. If someone responds to one of my comments about eating them and mentions this video, I will give you a magnet snail.
You can't. You did this in the last video. You can't be giving away
I'm gonna
magnets.
if anyone hears this
Oh my
and
gosh.
they comment on one of my comments.
No one's even gonna hear you.
I
or
know
comment.
they're not, and it's fine. But if you've made it this far and you go on the TikTok, or if one of my YouTube comments that talks about eating the snails, and
my God.
you comment, "Hey, I heard this in that video," I will make sure you're sent a magnet snail. I can't promise you any certain one, and I'll get in trouble for doing it, but I will. Secret giveaway.
Yeah, cut to 5 years from now and someone finally notices that you said that and finally comments and you're just
Yeah.
like, what the hell happened now?
Well, yeah, I'll have to break out a mold and make one.
You're gonna make one?
Well, you'll make it, but...
Oh. Well.
I mean, I could make one. I imagine they'd probably want one made by you, though. That's like the whole thing.
Yeah, well,
Someone finds it in 5 years.
Look, if need be, I'll make one.
This is a one-time thing also, guys. So if you're not the first person, I'm sorry.
But no time limit, huh?
Well, no time limit, but only one.
Okay, alright.
In 10 years from now, TikTok's still around, and you hunt through your 8... Because by then, you'll have made me stop posting that I'm eating them. And then... Or TikTok will, because they're like, this is a dangerous thing.
Yet.
Yeah, I don't intend to stop. But then, you know, if they'll have to sift through hundreds of videos back.
Mm-hmm.
And if they take all that time, that's fine. Here's what we were talking about earlier, though. The resin going on around the feet.
Yeah. Careful not to get it like over the grippy
that does
part of the
happen,
dome.
I think, on
It
one
does.
of them, and you had to like
I had to wipe it off. Yeah. Yes, I did. I made another mistake and you left it in.
Mistakes are part of art.
They are. They are. And that's why I don't fuss at you too much for keeping them in, because I think there could be some value to it. But
Yeah,
I
people need to
also,
know.
the perfectionist in me is irked by it.
Making the video perfect means including the mistakes.
Oh, here's the part that I think you were talking about, where I started doing the...
Yes, now is when this is there's one of my favorite parts. The gold part is my favorite part, but this part coming up is also really cool.
So each of these pigment powders is a glow-in-the-dark pigment powder that's supposed to be used for resin castings, but I have found that if I mix it with a little bit of the polyacrylic sealant that I use, I can paint it on, and it's much stronger of a glow than any glow-in-the-dark paint that I've ever gotten. So yeah, so I'm kind of making my own paint in a sense, I suppose, so that we can make the Leafy Sea Dragon glow.
Since it's glowing, should it be called glaint? It's like paint that glows.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, let's just,
let us know in the comments. What do you think? Glow paint or glaint? Which is better?
Well, technically it's not glow.
Yeah, but you're making your own glow paint.
Kinda. I don't know. I don't know if that counts.
You're adding pigment to some sort of adherent thing to make it adhere. Isn't that just what paint is, essentially?
A liquid matrix?
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose, but
yeah,
you know, I'm not a.
I see no difference between this and paint.
Expert either. I don't.
Add a color to a liquid and you put it on something permanently. I think that's basically what paint is.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think so, but I'm hesitant to
let
definitively
us know if
say
we have botched this and we're dumb. Let us know in the
everything.
comments. And if you don't get this far and you can't tell us, that's okay too.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine if you don't know, just like we don't know.
Well,
Nobody
if you
knows
do
everything.
know but you don't answer, you are a bad person.
No.
I just want to make that clear.
No, that's not how that
If
works.
you know that we're doing something dumb and
No.
you don't tell us, then that makes you bad. Realistically.
No, that's not how that works.
It's hard to say how it works.
Oh my goodness.
Here we go. This is the good stuff.
Oh, I don't remember how much of this you left in.
Almost the whole thing.
I had some issues with it at first because I couldn't quite decide what I wanted to do.
I cut out all of that.
Did you with the dotting? You cut out where I did the dotting? Because at first I was trying to
I cut out where you it was all hard to focus at the start.
Oh, sure.
No. Oh, wait.
I did some painting where I did, and maybe it's after.
No, I saw the part where
this.
you did the dotting.
I did some dots, and then and then I changed my mind about it and went back. I thought I went back with the brush after that, but maybe it's not quite in the order that I.
Maybe
am recalling.
No. I think you are correct. but I think it was just at the very, very start.
Yeah.
Like, I think the first, like, 2 brush strokes. Here,
Well,
just a sec. We're gonna go back in time. Okay, so we went back in time and checked, and we didn't just miss it.
gosh. It might have been cut out, or it might be coming later. Who knows?
Yeah, at some point she decided to change the way she's doing it because the paint wasn't sticking on.
But either way, well, no, it's not that the paint wasn't sticking on. But
That's what it looked like.
It is.
No, it's just cut out.
No, it was cut out. It is important when I'm doing the painting with the glow in the dark stuff to check it periodically with the UV light
To see what it's looking like.
to see how it's gonna look, to make sure things, because sometimes little bits of that glow powder will get in places where I don't want it, and you really can't tell until it's dark and glowing, because it's a pretty fine powder, but it is like slightly grainy, so the little individual grains will get into places if I'm not careful.
Yeah, and well, in the way that she was doing it originally, she was putting like little dots.
Yeah,
using like a little tool.
I was using the dotting tool to try and make little spots of color, which I still did in some places, I'm pretty sure, but I just, it wasn't quite working the way I wanted, and I just decided that I would rather have a bigger area of glow rather than just little spots.
The final glow on this is so cool, though.
Yeah, I definitely, yeah, I show it with the light off. Yeah, it's came out way bigger than I intended for it to. But I do really like it. I think the colors came out really cool.
Yeah, I think it looks good big, though. I think that's probably like almost accurate to the size of a real one. Maybe even a little bigger.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I don't know that I've ever seen a Leafy Sea Dragon in person before.
Maybe. Oh, yeah, the gold on the shell looked really cool.
Yeah, I was really happy with this one. It's got a lot of cool movement to it with the little fins and stuff all over the place, and so many colors, and
so many like pearlescent colors where like you get like different light shining off of them, different, like holding it different ways.
Yeah, I was really happy with this one. It was fun. It was a cool one.
Oh, here you go. This is the actual coolest part. I lied all the other times.
Here it is under the UV light, which is like basically like how it would look under black light.
Yeah.
So there are some little dots still in there and some little like detail things, but yeah, it came out pretty cool.
But in the dark, the fact that you can like see it in the dark, and you'll see here in a sec.
Well, in this glow powder, like I said, it glows way
so
better.
Powerful. It's so crazy.
Than any like just glow paint that I've tried.
That's just paint.
Well,
it's wild.
You know.
Well, guys, thank you for watching.
Yeah, thanks for sticking around and hanging out.
We left a blooper at the end for you.
Oh gosh,
yeah. That was from when we were recording earlier.
Yeah. It's like the unofficial start of the video.
Yeah. Well, have a great day.
Yeah, till next time.
With it too much though, because I don't know how much you can hear that. You have to talk.
I'm testing if it can pick up me breathing.
Maybe. Yeah, when you blow on it.
I'm just breathing out my nose, so I just need to know if that's a problem or not. Because if it is, I can just be mindful of it and just not do that as much, or try not to do it.
Because my nose is all messed up, so don't even worry about it.
Sure, but I'd like to not do it excessively. So if I'm aware that it's an issue.
I'm going to be doing it excessively all the time, so don't worry about it.
Sure, but I'm talking about me though.
I know, but I'm already going to be doing it.
Sure, but I'd like to not add to that.
No.
You know?